I have to do the mic thing. Jenny?
Yes, you're right.
I was saying earlier, comics have to actually practice how to do this so that they don't give audience the ick when they come on stage. I've done it. I just tested you. Yeah, so thank you so much for coming and taking a risk on poetry, I guess, on me. I have a book coming out, and I've been toying with themes to try and pull together all of the poems that I write. And the theme that I kind of keep going back to is self-conscious, because I've spent most of my life self-conscious. I think a lot of women tend to. And kind of what draws me to that is the split between the self and the conscious. I think a lot of what I write is me trying to figure myself out, trying to do the self-care that people tell us to do, trying to look after self, mental health, all of those things, whilst also balancing conscious and trying to stay present with everything that's going on in the world and the chaos around us. So that's the theme of what the night's going to be, I think. And also, navigating mid-20s, I turned 30 this year, so it's very much about that as well. So the first poem I'm going to start with is me arriving in London from Manchester and being completely overwhelmed with the toxic productivity that London is. So yeah. Friends from towns are settling down. Lifelong partners, sourdough starters, talking wedding dresses, and I'm impressed they managed to get a mortgage. It's more than I can manage to get up in the morning after late nights out. Feeling like death with a debt to pay. Flat whites are drinking my savings away, and in this lonely city, though we're made of millions strong, isn't it a pity that love keeps going wrong? Passing ships in the night, desperate to make the right decisions, clinging to perfection in this mess that we call living, chasing the dream in 1,000 various directions. I can't commit to sleep, let alone to deep connections. Call it self-protection. If it's not instant, it's not for me, unless, of course, I'm talking about my one-a-day coffee. You can keep your granules. I may not have much, but I'll always have standards. I'm wanting cool, Instagrammable spaces that famous names and faces implore I should check out. I'm decking out my rented pack with plants I can't keep satisfied, hiding from responsibility with too little water or too much light. It's hard to get the balance right. These bricks I'll never own. This house will never be my home, and it seems the only thing I can invest in is men with complex issues. So sure, let me try and fix shoes. And it's frightening how solitude is tightening its grip, how quickly we can slip into filling up with things we lack, stuffing holes to hide the cracks. I'm playing invisible twister, and insufficiency is the spinner. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere, and then I'm racing home for dinner, and by that, I mean my tea. My God, this city will take it all from me, including my northern identity. I'm constantly tired, but constantly bored. I constantly feel like I'm being ignored. When I need some connection, there's nobody there. When I need privacy, suddenly people stare. I'm constantly guilty. It's never enough. I constantly wish I felt a little less rough. The streets are paved with gold, and when I'm older, I'll make time to rest. But when I'm older and I'm past my best, will I regret not settling sooner? The longing as opposed to living. The taking as opposed to giving in to riding the ride of this thing we call life. The settling down and the being the wife. I'm rallying against the expected, but will I regret the rejected opportunity for simplicity? The house, the dog, the you and me, the baby, the garden, the growing old, comfortably. Time will tell, but till then, please tell me that I still have time. Thank you. I then got a job in a cafe, and I wrote this. Today I served a toddler who asked for a baby chino with marshmallows and chocolate dusting on top. Today I watched as a woman gave birth on the news underground as they hid, waiting for the bombings to stop. Today I served an old man who came in to use the toilet and ordered a coffee while he waited. He was humiliated when I told him we no longer accepted cash. Don't get old, he whispered to me through embarrassed, bleary eyes as he reluctantly returned the pounds to his pocket, the only change he has any control over. Today, a woman complained because her cheese wasn't melted enough whilst buildings in Gaza were aflame. Today, people with prams tutted loudly about the tube strikes as a Polish man I had never met before sat at the counter, sipping his coffee in daylight for the first time. As he left, he returned the cup and said, "Sorry about the strikes, but they're taking our pensions, you see." Thank you. When it comes to sobriety, I'm a bit of a mess. I find it hard to confess my feelings unless I'm dancing on the ceiling. Quite literally, I'm a liability, a disaster fueled by G's and T's, waking up with swollen knees and bruises I don't remember collecting. For people, I don't remember protecting or provoking. It's paradoxical, this concoctional feeling of reeling and rolling around, yet with both feet firmly on the ground. Most of the time. Body soda and fresh lime. You making yours a double? I'll do the same to mine. Shots? Fuck yes. I've had a stressful week. I'm tired of feeling lonely. It's boring feeling bleak. There's a fine line that tips me from tipsy to twat. But that's hard to see when I'm already cracking out the next bottle of wine, topping up yours so that you'll top up mine. We're escaping the monotony, the forgotten grey of days that play on repeat for 5 out of 7 days of the week. I'm feeling pent up and I'm ready to pop. This feeling inside, once it starts, it can't stop. We're in this together. We ride and die, and when we wake up all tender and shy, we'll lie we can't remember the states that we were in. That it wasn't that embarrassing when you threw up in that bin, and we'll swear that it's the last time until the week begins again. Counting down the days now. I'm lost amongst the maze now of dead-end jobs and football mobs, reasoning with Karen bobs, pretending to care whilst inside something throbs to change. I hope I can change. I hope it's not like this forever. Thank you. I think another part of growing up was starting to realise how much of a people pleaser I was, and I would find myself in situations where I would say yes to things, and people would have asked me a question and I would say yes, and I would come away from that situation feeling like I had completely abandoned myself in that moment, and really had to sit and question why I was doing that. And I think what I came to realise was that yes is complex. This is a poem about the complexities around consent. It's more than a yes or a no. It's a feeling that tingles through bones that signals the tone for how the evening might go. I know it's a grey area, but it's a great area to be in, the anticipation, the static vibrations. The electricity of you and me, the back and forth of who will be the first to crack and succumb to temptation. It's fire, it's light, it's a moment that leaves your chest feeling tight with the pounding of hearts and the who's gonna start. It's invisible, but it's present. It's tangible and it presents a moment that will resonate and relegate time and space to meaningless circumstances. We've both taken chances and our bodies will dance to the rhythm we've created through the language they speak, quietly to each other. It's more than an utter of yes or no, it's the quiet untold, it's the energy we hold. I can say yes, but my stance might say no. I can say yes, but might really want you to go. I know it's confusing and fuck, it's frustrating. And I can't tell you how many times I've ended up hating myself and making myself go along with situations I am not entirely comfortable with, because I worry how no might be received. It's so much easier for me to people please. Appeasing comes easily to me. It's my safe space because I have seen the alternative. I've had to alter my behaviour due to ulterior learning. I've had to educate myself in your unspoken yearning. If I can read the unwritten, why are you observing the subtleties I'm trying to suggest? Then no, my body screams as you start to undress. I know, I should just say no, but sometimes there's nowhere for that no to go. I know how that no might quickly unfold. I know how that no might lead you to scold with accusations and unwanted confrontations, and so I resignate myself to a place of placation. Here's an education. If it's not a fuck yes, it's a no. If I hesitate and say, sure, you should go. If I say that I'm tired, you should know what that means. If I'm drunk, you should not be unbuckling your jeans. No, I'm not being coy just to make you more keen. No will always mean no, but yes is complex. I know, you're confused, because you think that by asking you're letting me choose, but I know what might happen if I was to refuse. So if I can't say no, then what's left? If I can't say no, is that a yes? Thank you. So much of my 20s has been falling in love with the women around me and the friends that I have. And there's no better place for that to happen than in the ladies' loos. I have fallen in love with so many women in the toilets of clubs and bars and restaurants. I've put the world to rights with strangers I'll never know the names of, these drunken angels in the refuge of the restroom. If heaven has gates, may they be adorned with a golden F or the outline of a figure in dress. I press my lips against the temple of a girl gone existential as she stares upon her own reflection and projects the universal question, am I good enough? Tears tracking down her face, I replace with compliments from other women who came before me, who stood where I stand now in high heels and trainers, these feminist trailblazers. You've got this, girl, or you're amazing, or your tits look fucking great in that. And for a moment, we're all equal. And for a moment, we all mean it. A backstage world where women can breathe without performing for the eyes who decide how we're seen. And there's no competition. We're joint in our mission to gas each other up. A brief interlude to debrief and collude. Swap war stories and lose and check in with each other. A quick wee in therapy? That's 2 birds with 1 stone. In the cubicle next to me, that's 2 birds and 1 stone. I can hear her chatting shit and I'm fucking here for it. It can be chaos, it can be cathartic, it can be the best place to be at a party, a much needed time out overlooked by London's time out. And if you know, you know. And we all know why it takes a woman so long to go to the toilets, because it's so much more than a toilet. It's a place for her to let her hair down, just for a second, before having to collect herself again and carry the weight of the world in her clutch or her handbag. We'll top her up when the world tears her down, make sure her makeup is in place so she can bear to face it again. That's why the place is so packed and the queues are so long. Our bladders may be weak, but my God, the vibes are strong. Another part of getting older, I think, is when you start to see your friends struggling and you realise that you're their port of call. And you have to step in for each other. This is a poem that I wrote about alcoholism. She sits and she drinks another wine all on her own. Because at least when there's a glass within her hand, she's not alone. For if there's one thing that's certain, it's that another version of reality exists beyond the bottom of this bottle. Neither good nor bad, just none. What happens in the space where cognizance is undone, where the voices surrender themselves from rumination, vacating their heightened state of stimulation, a place where they allow just for a moment relaxation and rest. Just for a moment. Some rest just for a moment. And once her lips have drained the final drops, she's past the point she told herself she'd stop. For with the best will in the world, her ability gets hazy, the line that seems so clear has somehow started to get wavy, it's malleable and moves. She's left with nothing left to prove, so she'll relinquish the control, let the substance take its toll. For once it has a hold of her, well, at least she's being held. The loneliness of living for a moment has been quelled, and her well that ran so empty has been filled with something fleeting, a wave that drags her under before finally retreating and leaving her exposed. It repels her when she's sober, swears this morning that it's over as she's overcome by shame again, the nausea and pain again, the gaps in recollection causing cracks in her reflection, for there are sections of herself she can't recall, and in the cold light of day she'd be appalled. At the crying and the screaming and the falling and the scheming for another secret sip of sweet escape. Careless to the warning of the life she puts at stake, and with shaking, clammy hands her subconscious makes demands and she's too tired to take a stand against its calling. It offers her a comfort her discomfort finds enthralling, and she'll turn away. But eventually the summoning will have the final say, and she'll find herself back where she was always going to start, one hand around a bottle and one hand across her heart. The last time, she'll whisper to herself so quietly, just like the last time. And she's lost to us again, escaped to somewhere distant, a place she doesn't have to face the fear of her existence, the persistence of anxiety to which she's losing her resistance. Her resilience is gone. I don't know where to find it. She's making wrong decisions, can't work out how to rewind it. She's running and she's running, but the past is still behind, it's closing in. And no matter all the tins she downs and cans she pounds, when dawn comes back around, it's still herself she will be met with in the morning. Oh, the morning carries morning, because she can't do this anymore. Can't muster up the strength to place her feet upon the floor. And it's getting to the point where something has to give. Allow herself to drown or dredge up the thirst to live. And we can stand and throw the ropes, but it's for her to take a hold. We can lead her to the reins, but it's for her to take control. Please, let her go. I whisper to the sickness in her soul. I miss the friend I love and her happiness you stole. Thank you. So last week was Valentine's Day, chronically single. This is a poem about the worst date that I ever went on. For context, it was a second date, and for further context, this is written from his point of view. It's important. You hate men, you say, sat across from me. The menu sits between us in the silence. There are men out there who are violent, but I'm not like that. And I resent the fact that you can't see. I resent the fact that when you say patriarchy, you don't exclude me. You need to check yourself. I'm trying my hardest. I'm doing my best. Jesus Christ, it's like a never-ending fucking test. What more can I say? What more can I do? It seems like nothing's enough for you. When you say patriarchy, do you not see that the real victims here are the people like me? No, stop it. Now you're twisting my words. No, stop it. I just think it's really absurd that you want a man who treats you like a piece of shit. And I'm sat here, right, and I feel like a tit because I'm a nice guy, but I get overlooked. I'm a nice guy, but it's like you're expecting something better to come along. No, stop it. Wait. Can't you see that you're wrong? I just think it's unfair. I think it's complex. I think people, they're scared to talk about sex in this way, so black and white, they're missing the grey, because statistically, no, let me finish. Statistically, I'm more likely to, you know what I'm saying, and that's statistics, I'm talking statistics. Why are you quiet? Why aren't you saying anything? Why aren't you looking at me? Well, now I feel bad, don't make me feel bad. I'm sorry, alright, I'm sorry, okay, I'm sorry, it's just, I don't know what to say, it's just hard, you know? When you're a nice guy, and it's hard because, oh God, please don't cry, I'm sorry, alright, what more do you want, I'm sorry, okay, maybe I am the wrong, it's just hard because, well, there's no one to talk to about this sort of stuff, and it's hard because, see, that's why I wanted to bring all this up, because it's a safe space, and I can't talk to my mates, and it's a safe space, come on, don't ruin the day, and if I'm honest, see, I think you handled that perfectly. And if I'm honest, see, that's why I think you're the girl for me, because I like that you're strong, and don't get me wrong, but this is actually the most attracted I've been to you right now. Yeah, true story. That was not the birthday. We're falling in love as the world falls apart. Matters of the heart feel so minuscule whilst the earth burns in slow motion. It's unnerving. The notion that any moments of bliss could exist alongside such terror. I look into your eyes and there are explosions internally and externally. I feel the need to hold on tight as if there might be no tomorrow. We're following a trajectory, the outcome of which is perplexing. Chaos is coming. And I'm becoming numb to the news. It never ends. I don't know where to begin to try and make some sense. So we orbit in our ignorance, knowing any day this could be it. And elsewhere, the streets are paved with nameless faces, just trying to keep pace in a land that doesn't know or care that they exist. Faith no longer satisfies unless it's faith in empty lies and eyes that have never seen what we've seen. Feet that have never stood where we've been. We're after something tangible, something we can hold like cash or flesh or drugs that numb to warm us from the cold that comes from simply being. And elsewhere, the world is fleeing from itself. Feet pounding on ground. I think that's how the earth spins round these days, powered by greed and fear, and we're all here watching as it happens, thumbs sliding from one reel to another, unable to uncover what is real or not anymore, and unable to truly feel. We settle into numbness, a sign that our humanity has slowly come undone. It's the only way to put one foot in front of any other. It's the only way to witness what we see and still recover. Nothing matters. Everything's war. Wake up in the morning, but what is it for? Switch on the TV, is always the same. Ads that consume us and people in pain. Get on the tube, but nobody's there. Glued to their phones, unable to care. If lives are getting longer, why am I dying to feel alive? Knock back coffee or something stronger in order to survive. There's something in the water. We're all about to burst. Parched of real connection, so much so we'll die of thirst. It's palpable, this energy. We're screaming into silence. Our lack of understanding turns our desperate into violence. We've capped off our compassion, put a limit to our love. Extend it when it suits us, tell ourselves we've done enough. It hurts to be this numb. Wound so tight we've come undone. Consumed to cover up the shame, explain it's just for fun. We're all running on empty, though there's plenty to go round, like crabs inside a barrel trying to get to higher ground. A pound won't get you far these days. Our heads are pounding from the maze and constant blocks get in our way. Are you okay? Are you okay? It seems a stupid thing to say. Is anyone okay these days? I'd be amazed. It comes in waves. You'll get your pay another day. Another day. We're running out of things to say. Are you okay? Are you okay? Is this okay? Because I don't want to feel okay anymore. And I'm struggling to reason what all this is for, so under covers I cling to you. You are the constant in the fleeting, you are the steady, grounding, beating. And for as long as we lie still, can we still lie to ourselves that we exist in isolation from outside desperation? And we'll persist for moments stolen like this. So let us bathe in this ever-fleeting sunshine, for as long as it has the audacity to glow. Thank you. He said to me, worrying is like suffering twice. And all the lights flickered. Like he predicted my mind before it knew itself. He said the trick is stay within the current and the worries will start to dissipate. I complained I didn't know how, that my brain was wired different somehow, that staying was a struggle, that my thoughts get in this muddle and my mind works overdrive. I tried to ride it out, but doubts and derisions cloud decisions, and I lay awake at night with the weight of everything I've ever done and yet to do, clawing at the skull beneath the slither of the moon. Sleep eludes me, nothing soothes me, rumination chews through me like an old dog with its toy. And as I tossed with my own toxicity, his arms reached around the depths of me and held me close. He said, let go, succumb. What is done can't be undone, and what is yet to come will happen whether you will it to or not. He said, I know you have magic within you, but you cannot stop the passage of time, and clinging on for dear life will only make your hands weary. So rest, my love. You have worked hard enough, and the darkness drew in a little closer. There is wonder in what is unseeable. There is wisdom in what is unknowable. You cannot stop the tides, but you can learn to ride them out with patience. Lay with me here in the vastness of opportunity. Right now it's you and me, and you cannot rest here. You risk one day this moment disappearing. And he pulled me in. And there we stayed, our bodies bent like two commas taking pause in a life that we've been sentenced to. Our only power basking in the presence of every word our next breath drew, and foreheads touching, we whispered sweet nothings until the sun became the moon. And outside, the beating city drummed at the window pane, but inside, our stillness remained untouched, at least until the morning, at least until the dawning of another daunting day. Thank you. Okay. I'm just yapping on for a long time. This is a breakup poem. You let your insecurities get the best of you. I swear it's true that we would still be me and you if you could just let me be me. You see, you made your emotions my responsibility, placed your fragility in my unconsenting hands. The demands you made on my time and energy made of us enemies without a remedy. I craved serenity. You craved the best of me constantly with constancy, and so despondently I gave you all of me. It costed me my agency, which you disregarded flagrantly, and brazenly you made attempts at changing me, rearranging me to suit you and fulfill your needs. I long to be the character you made up in your dreams. The tantalizing text you wrote and stuffed into the scenes, it seems infantilizing now, this fantasized, idealized pixie dream you brought to life. I suffocate on your creation. She bears no weight and no relation to the beta source. Things were going well until she knocked me off my course. Of course, I wish to be more like her. Carefree, sexy, up for fucking constantly. It's a fucking contradiction, this friction I feel of not comparing to your picture. The curse of being real, multifaceted and richer. I poured my sense of self away. I edited the things I say in some attempt to satiate, in order not to complicate or contradict, constantly considering how best to sidestep conflict, attempting to predict at least 12 steps ahead, possible reactions always running through my head, and so instead I bit my tongue. I think I chewed so hard I didn't know where it had gone, and for too long I shrank away. So scared of getting lost, I almost think that's why I stayed. I need some time. I need some space. I need to find a me erased, retrace my steps, replace the parts of me I should have kept but let myself lose. I had to choose my integrity or you, made me doubt my own reality and shout insanity I can do without. And in your place, there will be space and vacancy. There will be pain, and occasionally there will be moments where I hate myself, berating the weight of the decision I have taken, but